ONG,
Ladies and gentlemen, presidents of associations and NGOs,
Monsieur le Président de l'Union des Ivoiriens d'ici Métro,
Mr. President of the Fraternal Union of DC Metro,
honorables invités,
honorable guests,
Mesdames et Messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen,
nous nous retrouvons ce jour mémorable du 7 février 2020
we are all here gathered tonight for this memorable day of the 7th of February, 2020,
pour reconnaître, apprécier,
to be grateful and appreciate,
soutenir et témoigner notre amitié
to support and testify our friendship
à une sœur,
to a sister,
une Ivoirienne.
an Ivorian.
En un mot, pour rendre un hommage à Madame Jeannette Leguil,
And one word to give a tribute to Mrs. Jeannette Leguil.
elle va se lever,
She's going to rise.
qui va à la retraite après 30 années de service au groupe de la Banque mondiale ici à Washington.
Who's going to her retirement after 30 years of serving with the World Bank Group.
Notre cérémonie de ce jour va se dérouler en plusieurs étapes.
Our ceremony of this evening is going to go about several steps.
Nous allons tout d'abord vous présenter une vidéo
To start off, we're going to present you all a video
dans laquelle ses anciens collègues de la Banque mondiale,
in which her ex-colleagues of the World Bank Group,
c'était le 31 octobre dernier,
it was last October 31st,
lui rendent hommage par des témoignages.
who gave her tribute through testimonies.
Et après la vidéo,
And after the video,
nous allons laisser la place à quelques personnes dans la salle
we're going to allow the place to certain people in the room
qui connaissent également Madame Jeannette Leguil
who know Mrs. Jeannette Leguil as well
de rendre leur témoignage.
to give their testimonies.
Et la troisième étape sera marquée
And the third step will be marked
par l'allocution de son Excellence, Monsieur l'ambassadeur Aïdara Mamadou.
by the speech of His Excellency Ambassador Aïdara Mamadou.
Il sera suivi d'une remise de cadeaux à Madame Jeannette Leguil
That's going to be followed by a gift given to Mrs. Jeannette Leguil,
qui interviendra à son tour pour dire merci.
who's going to intervene at her side to say thank you.
Et la dernière étape sera la séance de photos
And the last step will be the sequences of photos.
qui sera suivie de cocktails.
That's going to be followed by a cocktail.
Sur ce, Mesdames et Messieurs,
With this, ladies and gentlemen,
je voudrais vous inviter maintenant
I would like to invite right now
à suivre cette vidéo
to follow this video
qui est de 15 minutes.
that's 15 minutes long.
Je vous remercie.
I thank you.
Much of the work that has got here at the bank in many ways. And all of us, to some degree, have shared in very limited ways with her, each other, what Jeannette means to us and what she's meant to us over these many, many years, not only to this institution, but to other organizations outside the bank, both as in her professional work and in her human work, right, the people. So, once again, welcome. Bon appetit, buen provecho, and if we could go about it really is people like Jeannette that make the World Bank, I think, such a special place. You mentioned that so much of the country that people here have contributed to your endeavors. I'd like to say that it's Jeannette that has contributed so much to each of us. It's not been 31 years, so I only had the good fortune of meeting Jeannette 3 years ago. As a member of the Staff Association Working Group for Diversity and Inclusion. And it has been a wonderful journey, Jeannette. And I do hope as you take on these new endeavors that it affords me the opportunity to cross paths with you again and thereby continue to enjoy your passion, your talents, and your dedication. Jeannette, as many of you know, played a very prominent role at the World Bank to make this a much more inclusive workplace. She's done this through, I think, primarily because of two things: her advocacy and her leadership. She opened the space within the Staff Association Working Group for Diversity and Inclusion to focus on the issue of disability. She led the association's discussions. She led what became our disability awareness subgroup with fervor and tenacity, on top of everything else she was doing, both here at the bank and elsewhere. And it's because of her leadership that we now have our Disability Advocacy and Resource Employee Group, DARE. And you know, this is a staff community that advocates for those staff members living with disabilities and also supporting members who have members of their family, friends who they support, dependents who they support because of their disabilities. It's been a wonderful group, and because of this effort, not only here in headquarters, but at World Bank offices, there's been a much more concerted effort to understand the challenges of visible, invisible, and I apologize, I'm not, if those aren't the right words, but people with disabilities, those we see, those we don't see. But making a more concerted effort to understand, to be more empathetic, but also to have these discussions that are so relevant to the way the bank works and to get things done. So Jeannette, I think for us, your legacy is that the lesson that much good is born of passion, optimism, enthusiasm, persistence, and a willingness to participate. Thank you for making the World Bank better, Jeannette, and I'll miss working with you. I'm not sure that's a two-way street, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Leguil. I'm the president of an organization called Constituency for Africa, CFA. I'm also a former consultant to the World Bank. I worked under Obi, helping her to design and run the Diaspora Engagement Initiative. Let me say first of all, I'm Jeannette Ivorian. 40% of my DNA is from Cote d'Ivoire. So when Jeannette found that out, she came straight to me and put me to work. Basically, I can say that while I was here at the bank, there's many things at the World Bank you don't know. There's many traps you can fall into. But she was the one who advised me. She would pull me aside and say, go that way. Don't talk to that. So I can say I survived because of her.
Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be here. Jeannette, thank you very, very much for all your amazing support and work. So Jeannette is very interesting. She's a very multi-layered, multifaceted person. And I'm the disability advisor in the World Bank Group, and I met her in 2006 when I had recently come to the bank. But I quickly recognized that there's nothing that Jeannette can't do. And that it didn't matter how small or how big the task was, she would do it. When she found the time to do it, I have no idea. Because she had a day job, but then she did all of these other things around. Her passion and drive around persons with disabilities, like mentioned by my colleague in the Staff Association, has been immense. And you have a legacy here. I'm sad to see you go, but I'm really happy that in some ways you are going, because I think you're going to grow. You're going to grow and you're going to build this capacity in Africa. And just I think my last word is, you're always ever so elegant, and you shine with that African thread. Thank you.
So, I'm Julie, one of the World Bank staff here, World Bank group staff. I got to know Jeannette some few years ago here. I'm from Ivory Coast, but I get to know Jeannette here at the bank. Jeannette is one of those people you meet and it kicks off a wonder thinking in you. And Jeannette is a person of great mind, great spirit, as we have heard over and over today. So I met with her, she told me about what she has been doing, Model C and the other stuff, and she approached me and told me that she's initiating something called the Chamber of Economic Functions. What is that? How to build sustainable communities, how to help the people, not only social part, but help them be financially independent. And this is one of my passions. She said, I'm coming to you so you can bring in your economics talent in it. And we have been working on it and so on. I know Jeannette has been initiating. She's a person who has so many ideas. She's full of ideas, but it doesn't stop there. She will work on it. She's proactive, advocating, finding ways to make sure that those ideas come into life. How wonderful you are. So I call her a wonder lady. So I know we have heard a lot. I don't want to go. And I know also Jeannette is one of the people who really work hard in think tank, advocating for what we know today as the Sustainable Development Goals that we know alongside the UN. She has been one of the brains behind that, and that is what all the institutions are working on now. So, Jeannette, I think nobody can thank you enough. Today, for me, it is called your farewell lunch or whatever it is, but for me, it is a transition day. Closing one good door to open a greater one. And that is what I'm seeing. I know you, I trust you, and you're a woman of faith. You're a woman of ability. The ability that when I look at you, she's always like, I think it's possible. She has the ideas. And one thing that you can know about Jeannette is that she's so humble. She has great ideas, but she will come to you, consult, ask for ideas, and she's really able to take pieces, I think, from the profession, pieces, and serve a strong storyline. So I know we are going far. I know the world is going to be a better place, not only for disabilities, but for all that we know. Environment, economics, development that I'm part of, and I know that together we can do more, and we're going to do great. Thank you, and we are together.
I do not have a speech, Jeannette. I did not expect to make a speech, and I'm very sorry that I was late. As usual, you had to make this room the most obscure room. I did not know it existed, so I've gone around the building 3 times, and eventually somebody showed to me the building. When I first came to the J building, the same thing happened. I was looking for my office for nearly 10 minutes, and she said, "But you're blind, it's here." So once again, you're showing me new things. Jeannette, I really just want to say 2 things. And we've heard a lot about your work on disabilities. But really for me, the work that you've done inside the World Bank, looking after people like myself, making sure things happen, and by extension, allowing us to deliver our mandate is really, really powerful. Jeannette knows no boundaries. She will walk to the director and say, "I think you're wrong." She will walk to her manager and say, "I think you forgot to do this, and it's time to do it now." She will walk to her colleagues and say, "I do not agree with what you're doing." So Jeannette, that is not a skill that is common. And we take it for granted. We took you for granted. For that, I do apologize. Continue leading the world. Continue giving direction, because I think we all benefit from it. The second thing I wanted to say is that when I listen to everybody talking about what you've done in the disability space, I kept ticking things off and saying, so what's new? because that is exactly the spirit you brought to your work in the World Bank. And when I first met you, I asked you, so are you happy? And you said, I have a fantastic time. I come in because you and I always came in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you would say, I am having a fantastic time. I did X, I did Y, yesterday I did this, and there's a board meeting, and there's... It was as if, you know, she was running the World Bank, you know, and I was really very impressed with that spirit. So Jeannette can make anything happen, I agree. And it is not something that she does because somebody is watching, because at 7 o'clock we were often just by ourselves. It is because she believes that she really has a role to play in the rest of the institution. Finally, just to remind you, 4 years ago, we were walking between two buildings, and you said, you know, I'm considering retiring. And I said, okay, that makes two of us. Let's go for the retirement training. And you beat me to it, but at that time I said, but step back and reflect on what else you want to do and where you think your energies are going. And I remember telling you about a poem at that time by a guy called Tolkien, and I just wanted to read it to you and fast forward to today. Still around the corner, there may wait a new road or a secret gate, and though I oft have passed them by, a day will come at last when I shall take the hidden path. And that's the path you've taken. Now I need a job. Since you've set up an organization, that's my hidden path. So you are my hidden path. But very seriously, you've taken a fantastic hidden path. Many of us pass these paths and think it's simply charity we are doing. I do very similar work in my country, but I also know that that's my retirement package. So like you, the hidden path, the untrodden path is what we should aim for. So congratulations as you ride into the sunset. I would like to sit on the balcony with you, maybe with some cups of tea. And, I'm partial to a glass of wine, but I would really, really like to reflect with you on your life here at the bank and in the community one of these days, because I'd like to capture those stories and immortalize them. So thank you very much.
Après la projection de cette vidéo sur les différents témoignages rendus,
After the projection of these videos of different testimonies that were given,
mesdames et messieurs, je voudrais maintenant inviter
ladies and gentlemen, I would like to at this time invite
ceux qui voudraient rendre un petit témoignage sur la vie de Madame Jeannette Leguil.
those who would like to come take the word, Adrian,
Et le président de l'Union fraternelle des Ivoiriens, M. Jean Basile.
and the president of the Fraternal Union of Ivorians, Mr. John
Nous
Basil.
allons clôturer avec Madame Jeannette.
And we're going to end with Madam Mrs. Judith.
Et après cela, son Excellence.
And after that, His Excellency will have the word.
Voilà, donc vous vous asseoir et nous allons suivre l'ordre des témoignages.
So you may be seated, and we're going to follow the order of the
Je vais
testimonies.
inviter Madame Diane Thomas.
So I'm going to invite Mrs. Diane Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Diane Thomas, and it's such a pleasure to be here tonight celebrating such a wonderful lady, Miss Jeannette. She is an awesome, unique woman. I came to know Jeannette maybe about 3-4 years now. I don't know her as well as you know her, but I'll tell you something that maybe all of you know. It's a secret, maybe. No, it's not. Jeannette is beautiful on the outside as well as on the inside.
Yeah, indeed.
Of course, most people are attracted by the outer person, but what attracted me mostly about her, yes, she's beautiful outward, but her inner person. She's so fruitful. You know, she has the joy. She has the peace. She has the faith. She has the love. She exemplifies that whole part of unity and love that you would expect when you meet somebody who is genuine.
That's right.
I won't take long because I know there's a lot of people that have to speak, but I want to say thank you for your support in our foundation. She's always there for us. And believe me, to the ambassador, I'm in Ivory Coast. I'm an American, but I'm doing work there.
Oh,
Absolutely.
right.
Oh, yeah. I think I'll go.
Yeah.
I need to do my DNA genetics. Maybe they'll say I'm from there.
Okay.
Because I love Jeannette so much. But I will conclude by saying this, Jeannette. I know you, I want to say welcome to the world of the unknown. Okay? Not so much of the unknown for fear, but the unknown for faith. Welcome to the new world of freedom, as you call it. Because in this new world, there is a world of impossibilities, but all things are possible to those who believe. And I know you believe. So I'll conclude by saying, may your mornings, every morning, be new, as Lamentation says. His mercies is new every day, but great is his faithfulness. May your mornings be new. May they be bright. May they be good. But may your evenings and your afternoons be better than good, as my husband would say. And may your nights be peaceful, joyful, even better. Why? Not because it's dark, because you are the light of the world. May your dreams, may your dreams, because it's at night that we dream. It's at night that we have those visions when we can sleep. I know you have big dreams. I know you have great aspirations that you will move forward into. And into this I say, welcome, because the best is yet to come.
Yeah. Bravo.
Now we're going to receive Mrs. Barbara Simmons.
Your Excellency, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my honor to be a part of this program. Jeannette, I first met her here at the Embassy of Cote d'Ivoire. She had planned a program on the African diaspora. She is so special to me because not everyone defines the African diaspora in a way that includes me, one who is a part of the first diaspora, those of us that were brought here against our will. Not only does she include us, but the thing about Jeannette is that she backs up her ideas with work, very hard work. We put on a series of sessions at the World Bank on African women and the diaspora in STEM. Initially, we had only intended to do one event. It went so well, then we had another, and then another. And we still look forward to one day having that forum in Cote d'Ivoire. It is so important for us to come together. We know there are forces that do not want to see all of us together. But with people like Jeannette, we will go forward. We look forward to programs that address women, girls, youth, disabilities, and inclusive development. And that is what is so important about Jeannette's work, and I see it going even to greater heights now that she has a new role as, I'm calling her the independent woman. And so as we go forward, I am excited about the possibilities. The Consortium for African Diaspora in the United States can now grow and grow and grow. And I'm more than willing to retire from my job to come and work with my sister as we go forward and look at how we can be entrepreneurial. Because sometimes there are those who think that we just do things just to volunteer, but there are enough wealthy Africans and enough wealthy African Americans that I don't think we need to look to other people to support what we need to. We can leverage our funds and come together. And I think that the leadership of Jeannette Leguil, she has been called for such a time as this. And I look forward to working with my sister to do that.
We're now going to receive Mother Dandy Leguil.
Bonsoir, mamie.
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, honorable guests, my dear little sister, it is Jeannette and me. We don't see each other, but we're together in heart. She calls me affectionately, and I call her affectionately my little sister. But everything that I've just heard, as an African woman, and specifically as an Ivorian, I am very proud.
Vous savez, il y a quelques années, il n'y avait pas assez d'Ivoiriens dans les structures internationales.
You guys know it's been a couple of years, there hasn't been a lot of Ivorians in international structures.
Cela m'a été, il y a plusieurs années,
This has been for many
un
years,
ambassadeur.
an ambassador.
Parce que moi, je travaille au Conseil des Nations Unies pour les réfugiés et j'étais à Genève en mission.
And at the time, I was in mission in Jeannette.
Et alors, j'ai appelé mon ambassadeur
So I called my ambassador,
et il a crié de joie.
and he shouted out in joy.
Mais comment est-ce que tu as fait pour être là?
But how did you do to be here
Parce
today?
qu'à l'époque, le président Houphouët-Boigny nous empêchait.
Because at that time, the president of Leguil was not allowing us to.
Vraiment, je suis fier de toi.
But really, I'm proud of you.
Vous savez, en tant qu'Ivoirien ou Africain, quand on travaille dans les structures internationales, on apprend beaucoup.
You know, as an Ivorian or an African, when you work in international structures, you learn a lot.
Et quand on sort
And when we
ces
go
grandes
out,
structures,
and when we leave these great structures,
nous sommes toujours utiles pour notre pays.
we are always useful for our country.
Elle représente une source humaine.
She represents
Elle fait partie des ressources humaines très importantes du pays.
She represents the human resources. The human resources are very important for our country.
Malheureusement, chez nous en Côte d'Ivoire,
But unfortunately, in our country, Ivory Coast,
le pays ne profite pas des expériences que nous avons.
the country does not profit off of the experiences that we
Nous
have.
sommes négligés.
We are neglected.
Il y a des choses qu'on peut faire,
There are things that we can do,
mais au pays, il faut appartenir à des partis politiques.
but in the countries, you have to belong to political
Comme moi, par
parties.
exemple, le cas dans lequel je travaillais,
For example,
être servir l'humanité.
in the place that I worked, it was serving humanity.
Et c'est en cela que je me retrouve avec elle,
And that's where I was able to find myself with her.
parce que servir autrui,
Because being able to serve
c'est
others
de l'ordre.
is order. It's goal.
Quand je l'ai rencontrée, nous avons travaillé ensemble.
When I met her, we worked together.
Elle m'avait associé à une de ses activités.
She associated me with one of her
Précisément,
activities.
je crois le 15 avril 2015.
Precisely the 15th of April
Et
2015.
c'était dans le cadre de la Journée internationale de la femme.
And it was the day of the
Et
International
on s'est retrouvés dans
Women's
cette
Day.
salle pour parler de la femme.
And we found each other in this room to speak about women.
Je pense que ce qu'elle a commencé,
I believe that what she started,
le pays a besoin de nous.
the country needs us.
Ce que nous faisons, c'est les énergies que nous dégageons ici. C'est pas assez, le pays a besoin de nous.
The energies that we go about here is not enough. The country needs us as well.
Donc je voudrais demander si notre ambassadeur, mon frère.
So I would like to address myself towards our ambassador and our brother
Dire que au sein de la diaspora,
to tell him that amongst the
il y a
diaspora,
des ressources importantes
there are important resources
que le pays peuvent être utiles au pays.
that can be useful to the country.
Donc ma sœur,
So my sister,
on a beaucoup à se dire.
we have a lot to say to one another.
Malheureusement, je ne peux pas aller plus loin que ça.
But unfortunately, I can't go farther than this.
Sache que du fond de mon cœur, je t'aime.
Just know that from the deep bottom of my heart, I love you.
Parce que nous avons la même vision.
Because we have the same vision.
Le combat pour la paix
The fight for peace
et le bien-être social
and for the social goodness
de la communauté.
of communities.
Je vous remercie.
I thank you. Mr. Jeffrey Bowen.
With Jeannette, first of all, I give all honor and tribute to So to begin, my name is Jeffrey Bowden. I'm the former staff interpreter assigned in the Department of State for more than 20 years. And between that assignment and opportunities to work with the World Bank, I had an encounter with Jeannette. And it can be said that there's a cliche that I won't say accept no for an answer. But Jeannette, you can't say no. No is not an answer. And so how we met, I cannot remember, but exactly from that beginning to this day, it's been full of opportunities, full of chances to share our mutual passion for supporting and providing advocacy for persons who are deaf, as far as my area of expertise, but also with her, a person with disabilities. And so we bonded with that, and my work with the Department of State allowed me to travel extensively to all over the world, and I really enjoyed my time in visiting my homeland, Africa. I will claim it, although I'm a native-born American. I know that in my roots and in my DNA, as one woman told me in South Africa, you are Zulu. I tried to argue with her about that. The guy that was driving me around Johannesburg met her and said, "Excuse me, this man is working with the embassy. He's not Zulu, he's American." And this woman of great stature and age and wisdom and expression pointed at me and said, "Zulu."
Yeah.
And so when I got back into America, I told all my friends, "Zulu." So from that beginning, we are bonded with the ideal and the passion of going back home. We provide the support, the instructions, the opportunities for persons who work with people with disabilities. My area of expertise is training and providing opportunities for sign language interpreters. And whether you see them on your TV screen for the news, or in classrooms, or in hospitals, there's a need for elevating persons who are deaf. And Jeannette has that passion. So I want to thank her for just being that kind of person who encourages and provides positive emotions towards things that are bigger and better than yourself. I had a chance to read, thank you, sir. I had a chance to read the scripture that says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. I would take off my preacher hat and go and say, Jeannette is the substance of things hoped for, and she is the evidence of things not seen. So congratulations, Jeannette. Looking forward to great working with you in the future. You know you have assignments for me. You've always been able to pick me out of the crowd and do things for you. And so I'm looking forward to what you have planned for my life.
Thank you.
Monsieur Geoffrey est spécialiste de l'interprétation.
Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. Jeffrey specializes in interpreting sign language. So you guys are seeing the signs. It was sign language that he was doing.
Nous allons maintenant recevoir Madame Abigail.
We're now going to receive Madame Abigail.
Democracy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abigail Tamako. I'm a counselor at the World Bank Staff Association. I think you heard it all. Jeannette is the ultimate advocate. She's passionate about things, disability, and also injustice. Yeah, she always advocates for fairness wherever she goes. Jeannette is a great negotiator. She's been by my side, and we've negotiated a lot of good things. And I just, on behalf of the staff association, I'd like to thank her for all her work, for all the time, because she was doing it on a volunteer basis. Nobody paid her. She had a full, a daytime job, and she was doing all the volunteer work, in her own time. So on behalf of the staff association, I'd like to thank you very much for everything. I know that you will do great. I wish you all the best. Thank you. And I'd like to present to you this
I met Jeannette in 2006. I've been working at the World Bank for a number of years. Black Americans are very, very rare as employees. I want to make that very clear. And at the time when I joined the bank, I was not aware of that. There was issues happening in 1998 under Mr. Wilkinson, which we thought would be resolved. And actually, when we met at the time, I don't know if you remember, I had a temporary disability because in 2006 I had broken my left foot. And I had been misdiagnosed and I had to wear a boot for almost a year. It was very informative to me to see how I was treated on the bus, in public, inside the bank. I needed help, and Jeannette was there for me because at the same time, my then manager decided to give me a totally different work assignment that was extremely demanding, and I knew nothing about how to do this work. And Jeannette was there for me. She taught me the intricacies of a very complicated software program. She came into my work environment and she never left. And in life, I believe it is the heart that is most important. It is the attention. And she and I became friends. We came to know each other in that way. And as many people have said, she managed to be in so many places seemingly at the same time. And one thing that I have to say from my perspective that always irked me as an American citizen, certainly, was that she worked for a gentleman and she was his administrative assistant, senior assistant. But actually, bit by bit, I learned that she was the one that was giving this very super well-paid person information on disabilities. And I became interested in disabilities, going out with her. She invited me to autistic marches we did on the wall. I visited her at her church, and I learned that this is a very genuine passion of hers. And we both endured some tremendous stress and harassment on our job. We
I were just wiped out. And after a very long work day, and one of us would say, oh, it's time to go. And Jeannette at that point would also give me a ride home. And I just want you to know that I remember those things. Again, I say the heart is most important. And when I was threatened, and I won't go into all that now, but I did not do anything that I should not have done. But I did pay the price. I lost my job. And she was there for me again. She checked on me. She made sure that I had a little something to help with my bills, and continued faithfully to show her friendship to me. A person doesn't forget these things. And in the United States, where there is so much homelessness and cruelty, and I lived in Africa as a Peace Corps volunteer in West Africa. I've also worked at a hospital in Haiti. So I'm always observing and listening and looking. We are now, I don't know if anyone here knows what year it is, there was the United Nations Decade of African American Descendants. There was 10 years, I lost track. But I just wanted to say that this is, what Jeannette is doing is seeding, sowing seeds of humanity. I, again, have a disability today. I lost my father. Last year, I did home hospice with my sister. And even in this country, we are under a great deal of stress to provide the essential basic standard of care, which anyone at any point in time, some of us, all of us are impacted by a disability through someone we know ourselves, and it's essential. So it impacts individuals and families, and these resources are very scarce. So, you know, I'll make this statement for myself that having experienced my life in Africa, Haiti, other places, I believe that the enslaved Africans brought to this land many gifts, and one of the best gifts was humanity. Jeannette's passion she has for expanding our consciousness of understanding disability issues is even more important now, because my current government is focusing on eliminating essential healthcare programs here as well as abroad, and withdrawing foreign health aid for countries of Black and brown citizens. So, Ambassador, I want to thank your government for recognizing my friend, Jeannette, and for the need to advocate for everyone, despite everything that is happening around us. And I say everyone because, as I said, we are all in some way impacted, and I'm happy to see that Jeannette is growing and that her seeds are taking root. And I have committed to be part of this with Jeannette. And this type of humanity is very much needed to counterbalance weapons, killing, atomic bombs, and guns. So I appreciate all of you listening to me, to share my perspective with my dear friend, and hope that your government will. You're very welcome.
Je voudrais maintenant inviter le président de l'Union fraternelle des Ivoiriens.
At this time, I would like to invite the president of the Fraternal Union of Ivorians in the DC metro area, Mr. Jean Bazzi.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah.
Mr. President.
We're here to celebrate a great career. So I want everybody to be joyful. Good evening.
Good evening.
I want to acknowledge, send the greetings of the community to Your Excellency Ambassador Mamadou Aïdara, Ambassador of Ivory Coast to the US, extend a greeting of a community to Jeannette Leguil and to all the distinguished guests here. So I'm Jean-Baptiste and I'm the president of the Ivorian Diaspora in Maryland, DC. And I came to know Jeannette back in 2010 when she was newly elected as the president of the Ivorian community here in the DMV. And I was fortunate enough to be appointed as Secretary of Education, because this is what I do. And we started a great journey together. And I want to just talk about leadership. When she was the president of the community, I came to learn what is called transformational leadership. It's a leadership that is based on motivation and empower other people. Conviction, deep conviction in transforming community. And this is what, as a small team in the leadership, we were doing. And this journey was beginning so successfully to the point that we started seeing some truth. As today, when she closing a chapter of her life, and we're talking about a great career, working at the World Bank for 30 years is something that needs to be celebrated, and something that needs to empower new generation of Africans who are migrating to the US and try to make a living and serve the community. So, as she's closing this chapter, a new chapter is opening up for her. And this chapter is to empower the new generation, people like myself, who learned back in 2010 when she was president of the community. And telling
Indeed.
that I'm leading right now is part of you. You have done a tremendous job. You have empowered so many people. And to acknowledge what you have done for the community and what I hope you will continue to do, we have a certificate of appreciation for what you have done. So, I'm sorry. So on behalf of the Ivorian community that I have the chance to lead, I would like to present this certificate for job well done to
Merci, c'est notre dernière intervenante, Madame.
Thank you. This is our last intervention, Mrs. Judith.
No, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave because I have a little church festival taxi coming that morning me. But it has been my privilege to know you and to work with you for many years. And leaving the bank is a new start for you and everyone else. No longer having to worry about what you're doing and who you have to be careful of. And I think everyone here has given you the salutary words. For me, it's your heart, your vision, and your complete belief that disabled people need to have equal rights. And my opportunity to work with you, when I was the advisor of Red Bank, and then the work that you've done when I was at the State Department, it's been a privilege. And if there were more people in the world like you, things would be changing more rapidly. You believe in everyone, and you fight for everyone, and I really want to thank you, and more importantly, I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. This is not an end, this is an opening. Mr. Ambassador, I look forward to Jeannette being able to work with your government, give it advice, help it advance more rapidly on the inclusion of disability within the country. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
À présent, mesdames et messieurs, avec votre permission,
To the nation,
nous remettons ces
we give you this symbol.
Mettez ça au chevet de votre lit.
Put it at the top of your bed,
Et avec une montre,
and with a watch,
mettez aussi ça au chevet de votre lit.
also put it on the top of your bed,
Programmez l'horloge pour vous reposer de temps en temps.
so that you can look at the time to rest from time to time.
Et on peut encore applaudir.
So we can applaud again.
À présent, je vais inviter notre sœur, Madame Leguil,
Without further ado, I'd like to invite our sister Jeannette,
qui va s'adresser.
who's going to address herself to you all.
Wow. Excellence, Monsieur l'ambassadeur,
Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, dear brothers,
chers frères,
dear sisters, dear brothers,
chers amis,
dear friends,
chers partenaires,
dear partners,
mesdames, messieurs.
ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey, will you
Thank you. We want to be Je vous salue.
I greet you all.
Je voudrais faire un petit commentaire
I would like to do a little comment
par rapport à l'horloge que je viens de recevoir.
for the honor that I have just received.
Par principe,
Normally,
je n'aime pas être réveillé par une horloge.
I do not like to be awakened by an alarm clock.
Tous les jours, je me lève à 3 heures du matin
Every day I wake up at 3 a.m.
et c'est comme ça que mon système est programmé.
and that's how my system's programmed.
Et donc, excellence.
So,
Je vais
excellent.
faire un effort.
I'm going to try.
Je me réjouis de vous voir réunis ici,
I'm rejoicing to see you all united this evening,
malgré votre calendrier chargé.
in spite of your full schedules.
Et je vous dis merci
And I thank you
pour vos messages d'encouragement.
for your encouraging messages.
Vous allez faire le déplacement pour accorder votre soutien à mon départ
You guys came here to give me support for my leaving,
pour un changement d'activité.
for my change of activities.
C'est un privilège, un honneur
It's a privilege and honor
de m'adresser à vous avec humilité
to address myself to you all with humility
et émotion.
and emotion.
Je voudrais, avant de continuer, remercier chaleureusement son Excellence
Before continuing, I would like to really warmly thank His Excellency,
qui, malgré son calendrier chargé,
who in spite of his full schedule,
a pris sur lui d'organiser ces importants événements.
was able to organize this important event.
Je voudrais dire merci
I would like to say thank you
pour son esprit de fraternité et de solidarité,
for his spirit of fraternity and solidarity.
lui dire merci comme on le fait chez moi.
Thank him like we do where I'm from.
Je montre pour exprimer sa gratitude,
From where I'm from, to express our gratitude,
sa reconnaissance,
our gratefulness.
on offre un boubou,
We offer a bubu, a traditional dress,
un boubou blanc,
a bubu that's white,
pour symboliser,
to symbolize,
consolider
to consolidate
l'esprit de fraternité,
the spirit of fraternity,
de solidarité,
of solidarity,
d'amitié,
of friendship,
pour que cela perdure.
so that what's lost.
Donc, je vais vous demander de m'aider.
So I'm going to ask you all to help me.
On est censé habiller l'ambassadeur.
We are to dress the ambassador.
Ceux qui vont visiter la Côte d'Ivoire
For those who are going to visit Cote d'Ivoire,
seraient habitués à voir ce genre de scène.
you're going to be used to seeing these types of symbols.
Donc, c'est un honneur.
So it is an honor,
Un grand plaisir.
a great pleasure.
Je voudrais dire merci à tous ceux qui sont présents,
I would like to thank everyone that is present,
ceux qui n'ont pas pu rester
those who were not able to stay,
et ceux qui n'ont pas pu faire le déplacement.
and those who were not able to come.
Mais je sais qu'ils sont de cœur avec moi.
But I know that they're in all hearts with me.
Vous avez vu tout à l'heure Judith
You guys saw just now Judith,
qui a fait le déplacement spécialement.
who came here especially for me.
Mes amis, les partenaires,
My
mes
friends,
sœurs,
my partners, my brothers, my
de la
sisters,
communauté ivoirienne ici
from the Ivorian community here
et en Côte d'Ivoire,
and in Ivory Coast,
je voudrais vous dire merci.
I would like to thank you all.
Vous m'avez de près ou de loin
You have from far and from close
apporté tout le long de ma carrière
brought to me all throughout my career
votre soutien.
your support.
J'ai profité de vos conseils
I profited off of your advice
et je vous en suis reconnaissant.
and I am grateful towards you all.
J'ai commencé la Banque mondiale en 1988.
I started at the World Bank Group in 1998, 88.
Les présidents de la Banque mondiale qui ont marqué ma carrière
The presidents of the World Bank Group that marked my career
sont Conebo,
are Conebo,
Preston,
Preston,
Wilkinson,
Wilkerson,
Wolfowitz,
Wolferis,
Zolik,
Zolik,
Kim,
Kim,
Malpass,
Malpass,
l'actuel président.
the current president.
J'ai eu l'occasion de bénéficier des différents types de leadership.
I had the occasion to benefit off of the different types of leaderships.
Je voudrais aussi ajouter que j'ai eu le privilège
I would like to as well add that I had the privilege
de travailler avec des administrateurs du groupe de la Banque mondiale
to work with administrators of the World Bank Group
qui représentent l'Afrique et singulièrement la Côte d'Ivoire.
that represent Africa and singularly Cote d'Ivoire.
Donc il y a eu André Milongo
There was Andre Delogo
pour le Congo, Jean-Pierre Le Boutet de la Centrafrique,
for Congo, Jean-Pierre for South Central Africa,
Ali Bouran pour les Comores,
Ali Bora for Comoros,
Nassali Touré pour le Mali,
Basile Toure for Mali,
Paulo Gomez pour la Guinée-Bissau.
Paulo Gomez for Guinea-Bissau.
C'était un privilège exceptionnel pour moi.
It was an exceptional privilege for me.
J'ai vécu des moments non négligeables.
I have lived moments that I cannot neglect.
Arrivé en 91 à Washington,
Arriving here in 1991,
j'ai eu le privilège d'être reçu par son Excellence, l'ambassadeur Charles Gomis.
I had the privilege of being received by His Excellency Charles Gomes.
Et depuis lors,
And ever since,
les ambassadeurs se sont succédés.
the succeeding ambassadors,
Koume Moïse,
Kome Moise,
Yusuf Bamba,
Husif Bomba,
Pascal Kokora,
Pascal Kokora,
Daouda Diabaté,
Daouda Diabate,
Charles Kofi,
Charles Kofi,
ils ont tous contribué à mon épanouissement aux États-Unis.
they all contributed to my being in the United States.
Je voudrais les saluer ici,
I would like to greet them here,
ainsi que tout le corps diplomatique.
and as well as the whole diplomatic corps.
Je remercie également mes amis,
I would like to thank as well my friends,
mes frères
my brothers
et sœurs,
and
les
sisters
partenaires
and partners
de la communauté ivoirienne,
of the Ivorian community,
la communauté africaine,
the African community,
la communauté afro-américaine,
the Afro-American community,
la communauté américaine,
the American community,
avec qui j'ai co-organisé
with whom I co-organized
une série d'activités diversifiées
a series of activities that were diversified
pour rapprocher la diaspora ivoirienne,
to bring together the Ivorian diaspora,
africaine,
African,
le développement de nos pays respectifs
for the development of the respective countries
et de notre continent,
and of our continent,
et aussi contribuer
and also to contribute
au développement du pays qui nous accueille.
to the development of the country that receives us.
L'Union africaine nous a toujours accompagnés.
The Fraternal Union has always accompanied us.
Le secrétaire d'État américain,
The Secretary of State, the American Secretary of State,
l'Agence américaine de développement,
the Agency of Development in America.
les frères, les sœurs, vous avez tous
My brothers, my sisters, you have all contributed to my
Partagez en même temps votre expérience,
because you have shared your experiences with me, your knowledge,
possibilité de vivre quand je vous appelle.
and your disponibility to say yes when I call you all.
Ce fut en effet un privilège
So, in fact, it is indeed a privilege for me
de travailler au sein du groupe de la Banque mondiale
to work in the midst of the World Bank Group
et de faire partie d'une organisation
and to be a part of an organization
qui s'engage à trouver des solutions
that is engaging to find solutions
pour améliorer les conditions de vie
to ameliorate the conditions of life
des peuples confrontés
of people that are confronted
à de nombreux et complexes problèmes.
to numerous and complex problems.
Ces problèmes englobent, entre autres,
So these global problems, in other terms,
le manque d'accès aux services publics essentiels,
the lack of access to public services that are essential,
l'éducation,
education,
la protection sociale,
the civil protection,
l'électricité,
electricity,
l'eau potable,
water,
et la sécurité.
and security.
Je me rends compte que pour réduire la pauvreté,
I realize that to reduce poverty,
il est impératif
it is important
d'associer toutes les personnes,
to associate every person,
y compris celles vivant avec des handicaps,
even those who are living with handicaps
visibles ou invisibles.
that are visible or invisible.
Les programmes de développement socio-économique
The problems of development, social, economic, the economic social problems
pourraient, dès leur conception,
have a conception
prendre en compte les handicaps
to take in count handicaps
dans les questions
in question,
telles que le développement de la petite enfance,
like the development ever since youth, of early year education,
l'éducation,
education,
la protection sociale,
the social protection,
les soins de santé,
the treatment of health,
l'accès au système judiciaire.
and access to the judicial systems.
Le rapport de l'OMS et de la Banque mondiale
The report of the OMS and the World Bank Group
nous informe que le monde compte plus d'1 milliard de personnes handicapées.
inform us that there's over 1 million people in the world that are handicapped.
Ce chiffre est en deçà de la réalité.
This number is above reality.
Vu que les données statistiques ne sont pas disponibles.
Given that the statistics are not given.
En raison du développement des nouvelles technologies,
So in reason of development of new technology,
des progrès réalisés dans le milieu médical,
of programs in the medical field,
la société peut réduire
society can come to conclude
les barrières physiques
physical barriers
et autres formes d'exclusion
and other forms of exclusion
auxquelles sont confrontées les personnes handicapées.
that handicapped people are confronted to.
Beaucoup me demandent et continuent de me demander ce que je compte faire après tant d'années passées à la Banque mondiale.
Many people ask and continue to ask me what I want to do after all the years passed at the World Bank Group.
J'ai reçu beaucoup de suggestions,
I've received a lot of suggestions,
beaucoup de conseils.
a lot of advice.
Certains m'ont demandé de dormir jusqu'à 14h.
Some people even asked me to sleep until 2 p.m.
Je vous en remercie.
I thank you.
Je voudrais annoncer ici que j'ai mis beaucoup d'idées
I would like to announce here that I thought about a lot of ideas
que je compte opérationnaliser.
that I hope to operate.
Je reste surtout dans le domaine du développement social
I'm really in the development of the civil society
en mettant un accent particulier
by putting an accent particularly
sur les questions liées aux personnes handicapées.
on questions related to handicapped people.
Le handicap et la situation des personnes handicapées
The handicap and the situations of handicapped people
ont été des sujets qui m'ont toujours passionné.
were subjects that always were passionate toward me.
Après la Banque mondiale,
So after the World Bank,
je compte mettre mon expérience à la disposition de ma communauté
I hope to put my experience towards the disponibility of my community
pour qu'ensemble,
so that together
nous puissions trouver des solutions
we may find solutions
pour leur inclusion
for their inclusion
et intégration
and integration
dans tous les secteurs de développement socio-économique.
in all the sectors of development in the civil society.
Alors pour réussir ces rêves,
So this dream,
Comme le disait ma sœur Yann,
like my sister Diane was saying,
j'ai mis en place deux structures
I put in place two structures
dénommées
that are named
EDNA
Edna
pour la première,
for the first,
qui se dit
that is related,
Entreprise nationale
that is named National Enterprise
et de la diaspora
and of the diaspora
pour le développement durable.
for the development everlasting.
La deuxième qui s'appelle Qui dépasse,
The second that's called Did It Pass,
qui se dit
that is named
Programme et services
Program and Service
de développement inclusif
of the Development and Inclusion,
pour les personnes handicapées.
inclusive for people who are handicapped,
Que vous êtes en train de visionner actuellement.
that you guys are watching currently.
Ces structures qui sont complémentaires
These structures that are complementary
vont aider à améliorer la vie des enfants,
are going to help ameliorate the life of children,
des filles,
of daughters,
des jeunes,
of youth,
des femmes
of women
handicapées
that are handicapped
dans nos collectivités
in our collectiveness
par le biais de consultations,
by the good consultation,
de plaidoirie,
advocacy,
de politique d'inclusion,
politics of inclusion,
de formation
of formation,
et de soutien aux personnes handicapées
and support towards handicapped people
et les familles d'enfants handicapés.
and families of handicapped children.
Je voudrais me focaliser sur ce segment de la population
I would like to focalize on the segment of population
qui reste le plus marginalisé,
that's the most marginalized
et exclu de notre société.
and excluded in our society.
Les détails seront présentés au cours d'un gala de lancement.
The details are going to be launched at a gala.
Vous serez associés.
You are going to be associated to it.
Je voudrais aussi associer la communauté ivoirienne dans ce rêve
I would like to as well associate the Ivorian community to this dream
à travers une organisation dénommée
through an organization that's named
la Chambre économique de la communauté des Ivoiriens aux États-Unis,
the Economic Room of Ivorians in the United States,
dirigée par Dr. Leguil Julie.
directed by Dr. Lovis Girit.
Cette structure viendra en support
This structure will come to support
aux deux structures subventionnées.
the two structures that are aforementioned.
Donc le lancement de la Chambre économique est prévu en avril 2020.
So the launching of this structure is previewed for April 2020.
Vous serez invités également.
You will be invited as well.
Je voudrais aussi annoncer que je suis co-fondatrice
I would like to as well announce that I'm the co-founder
d'une structure dénommée
of a structure named
Association africaine
the African Association
des gestionnaires
of managers
d'état d'urgence international,
of emergency cases internationally,
nommée IMA.
named EMA.
IMA est associée
EMA is associated
à l'Agence fédérale américaine
to the Federal Agency American
de gestion des catastrophes.
of Management of Catastrophes.
Nous voulons à travers IMA
We would like to work through EMA
promouvoir la culture de la planification des catastrophes
to talk about the catastrophes that happen
et de la préparation aux situations d'urgence dans nos communautés.
and to prepare our community in the cases of emergencies
Et aussi en Afrique,
here and also in Africa.
face à la résilience
In face of resilience
au changement climatique.
to the climatic changements,
Le lancement de IMA
the launch of EMA
est aussi prévu
is also previewed
au printemps.
for springtime.
Donc mes frères et sœurs,
So,
Excellences,
my brothers, my sisters, Your Excellency,
voilà en résumé ce que je retiens de mes 31 ans de la Banque mondiale.
here to conclude is a short summary of what I have retained from my work in the World Bank Group.
Alors je souhaiterais continuer
So I would like to continue
de compter sur votre support
counting on your support
pour cette nouvelle entreprise.
for this new enterprise. I thank you. big surprise.
En effet, lorsque on remercie le couple,
In fact, when we thank the couple,
on donne toujours quelque chose à monsieur et à madame,
we always give something to Mr. and Mrs.
afin que le couple puisse vous garder en souvenir
so that the couple can keep you in their memories
et que vous puissiez toujours aller les voir dans un esprit de fraternité, de solidarité.
and so that you can always go and see them in the spirit of fraternity and solidarity.
Et donc chez moi, c'est la même chose, ça c'est la couleur pour la femme,
So from where I'm from, this is the color for the woman,
et ça c'est prévu pour son excellence, madame Aïssata Keita Aïdara,
and this is previewed for Her Excellency Mrs. Aissata Keita Aidara,
que je vais remettre à son excellence
that I'm going to give to His Excellency
pour la reconnaissance.
through gratefulness. So again, thank you for having came here tonight. It was only the start. You guys have understood. So in this enterprise, there's place for everyone. When are we bringing our resumes? She said soon.
Mais on peut encore acclamer.
So can we again applaud?
Notre sœur a tous nos encouragements.
So our sister has all of our encouragement.
Et nous pensons qu'avec l'aide de Dieu,
So we think that with the help of God,
elle aura l'énergie nécessaire pour continuer.
she's going to have the necessary energy to continue.
Pour l'instant, nous allons passer pour des photos
For instance, we're going to pass over to the photos,
et ensuite il y aura